we have to spread the link. Even the experts, the judges also should be send the link.
At what time the judge would be joining with us, sir?
For his talk, he would be there around 11:45, but he would be there on YouTube channel.
Right. All right, sir.
Yeah. So there he can listen to the performance of our participants.
Is Dr. Rajendra Gurav is with us, sir, right now? Has he joined?
No, he would be joining at 10.
Okay. Dr. Asha Menon, she is right now out of station. So on her behalf, our head of the department, Dr. Manju Prabha Madam, would be presenting our institution.
Okay. Yeah. Vice principal would be representing her.
And also the head of the Department of English.
Yeah.
That designation is more important today.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, of course. Anything more important than that? And that is why even on the certificates also.
Yeah, faculty people also.
Other important heads, I'm so happy to see all of you together. And a big thank you from my heart for this wonderful collaboration.
You deserve special thanks, ma'am.
That's your highness, sir. You always say so, but really it could happen because everybody is so supportive.
Yeah, somebody took initiative and people supported, no? Because otherwise it's difficult to collaborate in this time.
True.
Yes. Online programs are a bit challenging, but somehow we're trying our best.
Yeah, I think the collaboration is the best in this because from all ends we get support. And I think when physically we are doing something, we feel at much different space of time and space. And here it's totally like we have to manage everything on our own. If anything goes wrong, we just have to do anything else from our end. So it's always good to have collaboration. Annabelle madam, is she there? Maybe they were in a different meeting for a short for the participants.
Savita madam, I have sent the YouTube live link in the chat box.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can share it in the this WhatsApp group.
Yes. I'm doing it.
In fact, I can also do the needful.
So from my end,
I think yes, my principal sir is also joining.
Yes.
I just admitted him.
Yes. So I'm not able to copy and paste it. I don't know how, but
No, it's okay. I'm sharing it in the WhatsApp group.
That's great, sir. Thanks.
Okay.
Good morning.
Yeah, I'll do
good
that.
morning, madam. Good morning. Can you hear me, Barkali sir?
Good morning.
Yes, sir. You are perfectly audible.
Welcome, sir.
Yes. Good morning to all.
Good morning, sir.
Excuse me.
Has Annabelle Madam joined?
Do call.
Yeah,
They might have some
right now.
problem.
Yeah, I'll just check.
Just call and
Yes.
remind. Oh, the participants
So please
are
allow.
already 100.
Yeah, these
Yeah,
are 100
yeah,
already.
Yeah.
Already 100. We have to do
Annabelle Madam
something.
is wanting to enter, but then what to do, sir? She should be in the Zoom meeting.
No. Yeah, she should be there, of course. I'll do something.
What we can do?
Mm.
Anna, please wait. Actually, you have you finished with the meeting with the students? Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah, please ask her to be seen in the waiting room. Yeah, that's Arish Pathan.
Savita, you send a YouTube link because Vageshri is not able to join.
Yes, ma'am. I'll do it right away. In fact, there would be many now after 10:30's lecture.
Yeah, that is why.
Yes. I'll send the link.
Send me this one, YouTube.
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing it. Excuse me, Pandurang sir, where have you sent the YouTube link? On WhatsApp? It's not there. I can't find it.
It's not there.
In the students group?
Yeah. It's. I think the message is not delivered yet.
Yeah, it's not yet there.
Yeah, it's not delivered yet. I'll change my network and try. Annabelle मैडम को और एक बार कॉल करके देखो ना सविता मैम. Yeah, there she is. She's joining now.
Yeah. I have sent the link to Manju madam.
Yeah. Just say hi to her once to check if she's in.
Yeah.
I'll call.
Annabelle madam, you there? Yeah, she's there.
Let me just share the link to the students because it's just created and many students are waiting. Just half a minute.
Savita ma'am, I'm just emailing that link to you.
Yes. I could copy it from there in the chat.
Yeah. That's better, I think. Yes. You must have.
I could get it done.
Your Gmail account configured on the phone.
Yes.
Your email address hasn't changed recently, right?
Sorry, sir.
It's pndsavita@gmail.com.
The same. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I just sent it. it will be received soon. So from there you can copy it and paste it in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah. I could already have got it done from chat box of our Zoom meeting
Yeah,
itself.
and please check it with Annabelle Madam once if she's able to hear us,
Yes.
because she was
Annabelle ma'am, are you
unmuted
here?
still, she didn't talk.
I'll call her.
Yeah, because she is unmuted. I mean, still she is not talking, means there could be some audio connectivity issue. In the chat
Hello.
box, yeah.
Hello, Annabelle ma'am. Are you in? Hello. 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 Could you join? Could you join the Zoom meeting room itself? You are there, no? Yes. Because, yes, but yeah, since you are not responding, we were worried like if you are there or not. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Okay.
Yeah, you tell her that she's already made a co-host.
Yes. You are already. Yeah. She's there, sir.
Okay, good.
Shall
Then
we
I
begin
think
now?
Yes.
yeah, we should begin. It's good to go.
Hello. Good morning
Yes.
to one and all. A warm and hearty welcome, everyone, to today's national level student led seminar on revisiting Shakespeare. I heartily welcome Dr. Rajashri Trivedi, the principal and the head of the Department of English from Maniban Nanavati Women's College, Vile Parle, Mumbai. I heartily welcome Dr. Rajendra Gurav, the principal from SNDT College of Arts and SCB College of Commerce, Churchgate, Mumbai. I also welcome Dr. Manju Prabha, the head of the department from Srimati P of Department of English from Srimati P. Doshi Women's College, Ghatkopar, Mumbai. I welcome all mentors, professors, participants, and students to this special student-led seminar. This seminar aims to provide a platform to the students to present, listen, and analyze the plays and sonnets of William Shakespeare. The objective of the seminar is to commemorate the Bard of Avon in understanding the literary works of such a towering personality as a great artist and genius. We are happy to receive wonderful research papers by UG and PG students all over nation. 23rd April is celebrated as the English Day all over the world. Taking this as an opportunity, selected teams of students from all the three colleges, they are working relentlessly for last 15 days to get this day done. Under the guidance of their concerned organizers, of course. Now, I would like to seek the blessings from all the three colleges' representatives. Initially, I would like to invite Madam Dr. Rajashri Trivedi to bless the occasion and address the august gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Surely. Am I audible and visible too?
Ma'am.
Yeah. Good morning. Yes, and a very happy Shakespeare date, 457th birthday of William Shakespeare, the Bard of the Avon, the Grand Master of English Literature. There's thousands of epithets used worldwide for Shakespeare, even today, because Shakespeare can never be old. Shakespeare can never be out of age. Shakespeare can never be out of fashion. Shakespeare can never be out of the theme of no matter what countries, no matter what territories celebrate what is called plays, Shakespeare will always be flaunted in some or the other way. Whether it's the field of management, whether it's the field of economics, whether it's the field of humanities, whether it's the field of psychology. One of the critics I read long back when I was a college student, like you all, my dear girls, I read that if everything on the earth perishes and only the Shakespearean plays, the 37 plays are left on the planet, one would get the next species of human being would get an idea what earlier the human being was. And I loved reading those critical snippets on Shakespearean plays when I was a student like you all. I'm so happy that three colleges are meeting today. Three departments of English are meeting today. And my special thanks to Asha Menon ma'am and Rajendra Gurau sir who are with us today. And of course, my being not only the head of the Department of English, but somebody who loves Shakespeare from the bottom of my heart before I even decided to do my BA with English literature. I grew up in an atmosphere where my mother would easily quote lines and lines from Shakespeare. And I feel today none of those quotes, none of those soliloquies are out of date. The quality of mercy is not strained. It stoppeth as the gentle rains from heaven upon the earth beneath. It's enthroned in the hearts of the kings. It's an attribute to God Himself. And when mercy seasons justice, everything is all fair. Don't we want it today? Don't we want that compassion today? Whether I'm sure Rajendra Guru sir will agree with me, uneasy lies the crown ahead. Such a very powerful management principle. When you wear the crown of becoming a principal, it's not easy. The crown is full of thorns. Or whether you take it to be or not to be, that's the question, whether it's nobler in the mind to take arms against the sea of trouble or to give them up. Every day, don't we encounter this kind of Shakespearean challenge? Yes, we do. So whether it's 457th birthday or 857th birthday or I don't know times memory immemorial to come, Shakespeare will always live in our hearts. Wish you all good luck for a great seminar ahead and a great contest ahead. And my special congratulations to all the three departments for conducting such a beautiful literary program. Happy Shakespeare Day. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Honorable Madam Dr. Rajeshri Trivedi. You already set the tone, and of course, those soliloquies and poetry from Shakespeare is now head on. I wish the tempo maintains. And then I would like to request respected Dr. Rajendra Gurau to have his words with the August gathering. Sir, over to you.
Good morning to one and all.
Good
It is
morning.
very difficult. It is very difficult to speak after Dr. Rajeshri Trivedi. Organizers, my friend, Dr. Trivedi, Principal Madam of Maniben Nanavati Women's College, Vile Parle, Mumbai. Dr. Asha Menon, Principal of Srimati P.N. Doshi College, Ghatkopar, Mumbai. All the judges and all the eager participants of this event, Revisiting Shakespeare, a national level student-led seminar and online contest. At the outset, I would like to congratulate all the fellow participants who are actually celebrating the English Language Day 2021. As we all know, the United Nations observe April 23 as an English Language Day every year. Friends, if you think, you will find that April is a very vital month in the life of our beloved dramatist, William Shakespeare. He baptized on April 26. His birthday is traditionally celebrated on April 23, which was actually the date of his death. He is often called England's a national poet. He was an English playwright, poet, and actor, widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world greatest dramatist, as Madam Trivedi said. William Shakespeare, a typical Renaissance product who is known for his genius. A writer of 154 sonnets and 37 plays. Shakespeare displays a magnificent insight into human nature. He invented a new form of sonnet, which is named after him. Friends, physical sciences study natural law. Social sciences study human law in part, whereas literature studies human law in its entirety. In other words, literature is the interpretation of human life, and accordingly, a great literary artist is truly a great scientist in human life. Shakespeare fulfills this criterion in full. Unlike physical sciences, social sciences do not study social phenomena in static form in a laboratory. Instead, they study life in its dynamic state. It is study of life in motion. Literature, being a peak of human science, studies life in its action. The greatness of the artist depends on his insights into hitting upon the exact human impulses. Shakespeare has done it quite accurately. An author of light comedy, romantic comedy, history, tragedy, or dark romances, Shakespeare brings out subtitles of human nature in such a splendid way that his ideology remains inscribed on the reader's mind. A dilatory Hamlet, overambitious Macbeth, impractical Lear, thoughtless Othello, lustful Antony are the characters projected by him with full vigor. While enjoying his play, a spectator imagines that he is meeting with actual individuals of flesh and blood. Similarly, human greed for political power, his tricks and deceptions are also witnessed in a play like As You Like It, Richard III, or The Tempest. To put in a nutshell, Shakespeare can be called a true scientist in human nature. With this brief note, I wish all the best to you all. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. We really can experience, we can sense that Shakespeare is in the air now. Thank you so much for setting the tone again. I would like now to request Dr. Manju Prabha, the head of the department from Srimati P. N. Doshi Women's College from the Department of English. Madam, over to you.
Thank you, Sarita. Good morning, Dr. Gaurav, Principal of Churchgate College, Dr. Rajeshri, Principal of Nanavati College, my dear colleagues in the Department of English, and most valuable participants. Today is a glorious event, a national level students-led seminar, an online contest on revisiting Shakespeare. Shakespeare, undoubtedly the world's most influential playwright and a poet at all the time. SR has told so many things about Shakespeare. Really, we recollect all that. Even in our college days, so many things we had because we had say, Shakespeare, full paper of Shakespeare. And today I really remember all that. First and foremost, I would like to express my deep appreciation for untiring and dedicated collaborative hard work of the organizing team members, the students and teachers of the Department of English of SNDT, Churchgate, Maniben Nanavati, Vileparle, and SPN Doshi Ghatpur, in making this program highly informative and very enriching for the students. I congratulate entire team for the successful coordination of the program. Friends, literary works reflect contemporary society, but a few gain universality and timelessness. Shakespeare, for his great works, became timeless and popular even today in 21st century because he understood the human psyche about individuality and selfhood. His relevance is timeless. Here, I would appreciate the great efforts taken by all the participants Many among the participants may not be English DC students, but their efforts are praiseworthy. Wish you all the best, dear participants, for your desired success. Thank you once again. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So this was respected Dr. Manju Prabha ma'am. Thank you so much for your blessings and a great appreciation. Here, I would like to note you that Dr. Asha Menon, the principal from Srimati P. N. Doshi Women's College, she has also sent her blessings and deep appreciation for this cause. Now, after this, I request Madam Annabelle to kindly please play SNDT Women's University song so that we can begin officially with our program. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, dear Annabelle Madam, for playing the university song for all of us. Vishwa hai parivar bharat ghar hamara hai. And being a learner of English language and being one of the members of the whole world, he Vishwachi माझे घर. Let's begin with the first phase of our today's seminar. For today's research paper presentation, we do have one seminal figure from the area of research, the judge for today's session, Dr. Pramod Karate. I would like to request Ms. Falak Sayed. Falak, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, to kindly introduce our today's judge for the paper presentation competition. Over to you, Falak.
Good morning, everyone. I consider it a great honor to welcome our guest, Dr. Pramod Karate. He is an assistant professor and head of the Department of English and a coordinator of MA English program at VPM's Joshi Bedekar College. He has 16 years of teaching experience at undergraduate and 4 years at postgraduate level. He has presented 16 research papers at both national and international level. Professor has been serving as a member of Board of Studies in English for 2 autonomous colleges in Mumbai. Dr. currently is acting as the chairperson of examination committee of his college. He has been heading the Department of the English of the college since 2006. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your valuable time and joining us today.
Thank you. So this was our Falak, one of the conveners of the student-led seminar. Thank you to Dr. Pramod Kharate for accepting the invitation on our behalf and being there as a judge. Now, let's begin with the most awaited, our research paper competition. I request to Ms. Algeshwari Chettiar to kindly please handle the further proceedings of the competition. Over to you, Algeshwari.
Hello and good morning to everyone present here. I am Ilgeshwari Chettiar from SPN Doshi Women's College. Before moving to the research paper competition, I would like to give you all the rules for the competition. That the participant names will be called one by one. They have to present their presentation on their research paper. When the name is called, the participants have to switch their videos on and the audios to present their presentations. The time for the participants will be given for 5 minutes each. All the best for all the participants participating today. Moving forward, the first participant is Palak Lilakar.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to speak and present my research paper on a study of tragic plays of William Shakespeare. Next. Tragedies in Shakespeare's play. Tragedy is the intimation of an action that is serious and also having and manipulated, complete in itself. Next. The first play that I have taken is Hamlet. Hamlet is a play in which the ghost of the king of Denmark tells his son Hamlet to seek revenge by the new king and kill him for to kill the new king of Denmark and take the revenge of his murder. The Hamlet further tries, is this the truth or not? He plays an act by recreating the situation of the king when the Claudius killed his dad. After that, Claudius, in the fear of his indeed, tries to kill and plots to kill Hamlet. Hamlet, with his help of his friend, tries to find out what Claudius did with his dad. Next, after death, Claudius, with Hamlet's mother, seeks help of Hamlet's two friends and tries to spy on him. After that, Claudius' wife and Hamlet's mother announce that to Claudius that Ophelia has taken her life and drowned. Hamlet gets a cut by Ophelia's brother and in anger he cuts him back. Next. In this anger, Hamlet kills Claudius and takes his revenge, and he himself takes his life by the poisoned sword. In the end of this tragic play, we see that in the play Hamlet, everyone is died. Next. Next. These are the characters of Hamlet in the tragic fate. Next. Let's move to our second play, Macbeth. Next. Macbeth is the story in which the three witches tells the Scottish general Macbeth that he will be the king of Scotland after the King Duncan. In this, Macbeth becomes greedy and killed the King Dukan and takes the throne of Scotland for himself. And then his wife and he feels guilty, and in this guilt, Macbeth in this guilt in this guilt, Macbeth keeps on murdering everyone uh, to 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 prevent himself from murdering from the enemies and murder everyone in the bloodbath. After the civil war, shifting to take Macbeth and Lady Macbeth into the realms of madness and death. Next, these are the tragic acts in Macbeth. Macbeth murders the king, and after that, even he murders the best friend of his in his life. He murders everyone, even his best friend and their families. Next, these are the characters of tragic fate in Macbeth. Next, conclusion. The tragic the tragedies of Macbeth of Shakespeare are most of well known in these histories. This these were the two plays that I have taken, and there are other two plays that were written by Shakespeare, that are Othello and King Lear, which are not been included in this study. This is the research I have tried to understand the relationship between the tragic scenes and characters. Next, thank you.
Thank you, Palak Leelakar. The second presenter would be Palak Sayed.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Falak Sayed, and I am a second year BA student of Maniben Nanavati Women's College. The topic of my presentation is investigating women characters in Shakespearean plays. The literary works of William Shakespeare seem fresh and trendy even today and have continued its magic on the reader over the centuries. Next. The main aim of this presentation is to make everyone understand the formation and the character traits of female characters in his plays. Next. By the end of this presentation, we will be able to understand the similarities and the differences between the characters of the plays and the reality of women in the Elizabethan era, wherein the society was patriarchal and the lives of the women heavily restricted. Next. In a world that considered women as weak, Shakespeare penned some bold and furious roles. Next. Next. I will be closely analyzing some of the most popular female characters. But first, let's have a look at the condition of women in Elizabethan society. Next. Next. Women were treated as a property of their fathers, and once they get married, they were handed over to their husbands. They were not allowed to study. They couldn't go on stage and perform. They had no say in family discussions and were only expected to obey their husband, take care of the kids, and do all the household work. So basically, this is how we can sum up their lives. Next. 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 Now I will move on to the first female character, that is Portia. Portia is the protagonist of William Shakespeare's play, The Merchant of Venice, which was written in the 16th century. Next. Portia's persona is impactful and leaves a strong impression on the reader's minds. She is pretty, intelligent, brave, bold, and powerful. She is the lady with great sense of humor. She chooses Bassanio as her life partner, who is not so financially stable. She is merciful. She could have easily married Bassanio without subjecting him to the test laid by her father in his will, but she was dutiful and loyal. Next. She was ready to pay any amount in order to save Antonio's life. She is confident and generous. She disguises herself as a lawyer without any fear. She is smarter than the men in the play. She is fond of using proverbs, just like Queen Elizabeth. Next. And some say that her character is inspired by the Queen. Portia is indeed the hero of this play. Next. The second character about which I will be talking about is Juliet. Juliet is the protagonist of the play Romeo and Juliet, written in the year 1597. Juliet is a 13-year-old beautiful girl. She belongs to the Capulets, the enemies of the Montagues. She falls for Romeo but is later devastated on learning that he is a Montague. She seems innocent and naive at the beginning but turns into a mature and self assured person by the end. She is bold. She confesses her love to Romeo on the first meet itself. She is brave and ready to elope. She is headstrong and refuses to marry Paris. She fakes her own death to secure her relation with Romeo. She is not afraid of death as she stabs herself on seeing Romeo dead to stay forever together in heaven. While the 13-year-olds today are busy on social media, Juliet was someone who had lots of courage and was much more than her age. Next. 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 The last but not the least character on my list is Lady Macbeth. Lady Macbeth is the leading character and the wife of the tragic hero Macbeth in the play Macbeth, written in the year 1606. She lacks humanity and is the epitome of all the evil. Next. Next. She is extremely greedy and wants the crown anyway. She plots the murder of the king and instigates her husband to kill him. Next. She is a female with more of masculine qualities. She is manipulative and constantly questions her husband's manlyhood. But after the murder of the king, she starts to crumble and turns insane. She starts sleepwalking and keeps washing the invisible bloodstains. Next. Next. She couldn't bear the guilt and ends up committing suicide. Next. By closely looking at the characters, we come to conclusion that William Shakespeare broke all the barriers and gave life to some of the strongest female characters. His way of presentation reflects his views about women. He didn't give absolute freedom to the females, but they were equally important, bold, brave, and powerful. Some even surpassed men. Through his work, we can see his immense respect towards women. He showed how women can inspire men around them and paved the way for future women's rights. Next. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Falak. You did a great job. The next representer is Kelvi Sangvi.
Hello everyone, my name is Kevli Sangvi. I hope I am audible. Good morning to all of you present over here. So, my today's presentation is upon the study about the sub theme of my research paper is Shakespeare in films. So I have taken this movie, Macbeth, which is adapted almost from Macbeth. So this is a bit of comparison from the woman of Macbeth to the woman in Macbeth. So next. So as we all know that Shakespeare is known as the biggest contributor of English literature, and Bollywood is the best well-known entertainment industry. And when both are done with a mixture, then it becomes an amazing mixture. Shakespearean films, though India hasn't done so many Shakespearean films, but from recent times it has started, and many films like Angur, Macbeth, Makbul, Omkara, and even Ramlila, and many others are adapted from Shakespearean plays. Next. The Lady Macbeth of Macbeth was a character who wanted to become a queen, and while the character Nimrod of Makbul, who is not exactly. Hello, can anyone? Hello. Yeah. Next. So in the preface of the film, the Makbul, the director Vishal Bhardwaj, who has written also this script, and he has made a few changes. So he says the major decision was to change the character of Lady Macbeth from Macbeth's wife to Duncan's mistress. So basically, you would have known the story, a bit of it. You would have got it through the my fellow researchers who had just presented now. So you would have known about a bit of Lady Macbeth, who she was, and so she was wife of Macbeth. But in the movie, Vishal Bhardwaj sir has changed a bit and made it. She has become Duncan's mistress, who was having an affair with Macbeth. This changed the dynamics of this relationships completely. Suddenly, the sexual conflict becomes the core of the screenplay. So, in the play, Shakespeare showed that Lady Macbeth wanted to become a queen, but in this movie, Makbul, Vishal Bhardwaj has changed her a bit and shown that uh, she isn't hungry for the crown, but actually for Macbeth, means who indirectly is not her husband, but later on. So for Macbeth, the Lady Macbeth becomes the throne herself. Next. So you can see the smile on their face, like Lady Macbeth wanted to become a queen, but Nimmi wanted to live with the man she loved and see him rule Mumbai. So basically, the film Maqbool is about the Mumbai gangster, and we all know that Bollywood is famous about these dirty Bollywood movies and all. Um, Bollywood gangster movies. Next, so the conclusion. Here we come to the conclusion. Though there are many similarities and difference between Lady Macbeth and Nimmi, the character by Vishal Bhardwaj. So, Lady Macbeth, though she didn't had her name, means she didn't had her own name. You can see, she was called Lady Macbeth, so she didn't had her identity itself. But Nimmi, just for namesake, she had got. But still, if you see, she didn't had much liberties still. But still, it is a evolution in the times. So as you see, Shakespeare had written futuristic kind of place where he portrayed women a bit more free. So even the director of the movie of Makbul has tried to show the liberty of women, though and still he is not able to uh, make her look fully with freedom, because that is the patriarchy. And from Macbeth to Macbeth, the state of women hasn't changed much, though she has got her identity for next name, literally. Just her name has changed Nimue. But actually, her characteristics are almost same. Other other differences we can see that when she went to inform Lady Macduff about the threat of her and her child's life. So Macbeth wanted to kill the family of Macduff because he thought it would be a threat on his own life. But Lady Macbeth, though she was a woman, she had a heart of woman, and she didn't wanted to uh, kill someone who didn't even who were so innocent. So she went to inform Lady Macduff that her life is in threat. Whereas Nimmi planned to kill her own would-to-be son-in-law, leaving her own daughter Samira to be mad. So in the movie, if you go to see, Samira was the daughter of Nimmi, and the King Dakkan means the character who is replaced by Abaji or Jangir Khan. So he didn't had any son, so he had decided to make his son-in-law the next successor of his. So she didn't wanted uh, anyone else to take that place. Instead, to keep that place from Makbul. So that is why she didn't even care that her own son-in-law would to be son-in-law. If even if he is scared, she was okay with it. And the third one is Lady Macbeth gave idea about the taking advantage of drunken attendants. So the King Duncan was killed in such a way that they had thrown a party at the Macbeth had thrown a party for King as they had won the war, and um, Lady Macbeth decided that while everyone would be drunken, so they can kill the king easily, and there will be no problem. While Nimmi, at the other side, the his her husband Jangir Khan had a very faithful bodyguard kind of person, Usman. So indirectly, she tried to force him to drink alcohol, who was actually very sure, ma'am. Uh, so yeah, so she tried to pressurize him to drink alcohol. And the last point is Lady Macbeth kept a dagger in the hands of drunken attendants, and while Nimmi killed Usman. So this is the biggest thing that evolution has taken place, though in not in positive way, but Yeah, so this is the conclusion. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevli. The next presenter is Sara Kachwala.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sara Kachwala. I'm from SMBT College, and today we are today my topic is what is comedic about cruelty. I'll just wait for the PPT.
Hello, Sarah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes. Yes, you are.
Yes,
Please
sir.
start.
Yeah, I'll begin. Okay, okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so to begin with the introduction, we will now talk about or know about the first folio, which was the first collected edition of William Shakespeare's play, and it was published in 1673. And according to that, the plays of Shakespeare has been divided into three parts: tragedy, history, and comedy. Next slide, please. So, in the paper, we have first discussed how Shakespeare's comedy are not considered comic by the modern audiences. So, Shakespeare's comedy included mistaken identity or misconceptions, separation, and Ma'am, can I stop my video because I think I'm having network
Yes, yes.
issues.
Sarah, you can just switch off your video and you can continue with your topic. Yeah.
To substantiate the statement of comedy being considered as a tragic comedy or problem play, in the paper I have used two references from two plays that come under the category of comedy. The two plays are Merchant of Venice and the Twelfth Night. Now, the taking the Merchant of Venice as an example, the play is
Sarah, are you there?
I think she is facing a bad net.
Yeah.
Ma'am, am I audible now?
Yes, you are.
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. So I was given the reference from Merchant of Venice to substantiate that Shakespeare's comic play are not being considered comedy by modern audience. In the play, Merchant of Venice, the lovers are being reunited in the end and celebrating their love. But on the other hand, the Jew Shylock is a man who has made a mistake, and to pay the price, he had to give up by losing everything he values, including his religious freedom. It is also seen that he is being treated in a brutish way because of religious indifference of him being a Jew in a place and era dominated by the Christians. In the paper, I have also mentioned a dialogue which shows the ill treatment towards Shylock by Antonio, a Christian character in the comedy play. Likewise, I have taken an example from the Twelfth Night, a comedy play by William Shakespeare, in which there's humiliation of a man that the in group does not fancy. The man named Malvolio, a character in the following play, has been used for a prank and termed as insane and tormented. At the end of the play, he's been released from a dark room, and the play ends without any apology towards Malvolio. I have included a dialogue in which he says that he'll take revenge from. Hello? Okay. He'll take revenge from the whole pack. As the Merchant of Venice, his suffering is also shut off under comic ending. Next slide, please. So now we're going to know that because of including elements of tragedy in his comic plays, the term tragic comedy has often been thought to be Shakespeare's special creation. Though all of them end in marriage and redeem the mistakes of the past, none of them have much room for laughter. All of them dramatize anger, violence, and bitter jealousy. So, and there's containing scenes of comic misunderstanding, but they have a dark motive at heart. The term problem play was also coined for these kind of terms. To give an example for the above mentioned terms in the paper, I have taken Measure for Measure as a play to give an example for the following terms. So, Measure for Measure is full of bitterness. Is a cynic play and it's full of corruption. Though it is still a play with happy ending and contains a few comic scenes, though that are the elements of comedy according to Shakespeare. In such a play, the comic elements are pushed into the background, and the tone and atmosphere becomes one of seriousness. So now that we know that Shakespeare's comedy is not meant for laughter, rather it has or uses light tones to implant or give serious messages, the paper further discusses the question on what is comic about cruelty. So I have written in the paper that everything is written in a comic way in Shakespeare's play. There are elements of comedy in the play, but the contemporary reader is reading it in the modern time and is realizing the darker aspect of comedy. Now, as I have given reference above, that the Merchant of Venice, although it holds all the elements of comedy, that is love, marriage, happy ending, the treatment towards Jew Shylock is what the readers find cruel. The dark, somber comedies of Shakespeare's include All's Well That Ends Well, Measure for Measure, and many more. Though holding all the elements of comedy in the sense that they end happily, their tone is somber and tragic. They reflect a cynical, disillusioned attitude to life, the horrors of the society. In them, Shakespeare displays a savage desire to expose the falsity of romance and to show the sordid reality of life. Further explaining the topic, I have stated in the paper that what is comedic about cruelty is that the cruel in comedy is the dark aspect of comedy, but it remains light and entertaining and still a comedy because while addressing the darker parts of the play, Shakespeare has still set and used elements of comedy. He has used black comedy or dark humor, as we call it, in his play, which is still a branch of comedy, all the while providing a happy ending to the play by setting up a marriage, which is an element of comedy to redeem the past mistake. Next slide, please. Okay. So, in conclusion, I have stated that Shakespeare's use of different elements to form one play, that is tragedy, and that is the use of tragic elements in a comedy play, is done because of the growing growing fascination towards theater during that time, and the growing audiences as well. So it can be said that in conclusion, it can also be said that what is cruel to one can be comic to other. Moreover, we have to understand that what Shakespeare wrote was in a different time and era, and we are living in a different time and era. So what we term as cruel, and at that time, that must have been comedy for those people, and and vice versa. So next slide, please. At the end, the questions that arise is since the definition of cruelty and comedy is different in different eras, is Shakespeare's play still relevant today for studying in this age? And what is the difference between modern comedy and Shakespearean comedy? That'd be all. Thank you.
Well done, Sarah. The next presenter is me, myself.
Yes, this is Algeshwari Chettiar, one of the conveners from Srimati P. N. Doshi Women's College. Algeshwari, you may start.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Algeshwari?
Ma'am, I'm waiting for the PPT.
Yeah, is it being shared?
Yes, yes. It's not like shared in the meeting.
Are you trying to share it on your own, or you want the host to share it for you?
The host to share it from me, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am has it.
Yeah, okay, fine. Annabelle ma'am, is it possible to share from your end? Or let us start by the time?
We can also make the students co-host if they can share it on their own.
Yeah, that's right. Annabelle ma'am, are you there? Pandurang sir, I request you to make Algeshwari the co-host so that she can present her PPT on her own.
Yeah, sure. I hope she has a copy of it currently in the device that she is connected.
Do you have it, Algeshwari, with you?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, she is the co-host.
Yeah, great. Thank you, sir. Now you can present yours.
Is my PPT
Yes.
visible?
Yes, visible. Start.
Hello, everyone. My name is Algeshwari Chettiar. I am from SPN Doshi Women's College. My title name is Emotions Through Sonnets. William Shakespeare was one of the most prominent English writer. He was also regarded as the world's greatest dramatist in the 17th century. He was also known as the Brad of Avon and the Brad. His work was based on creativity, spirituality, and art. He did an amazing job at writing plays, poems, and sonnets. He was born and raised in Stratford upon Avon. At a very tender age of 18, he got married to Anne Hathaway, who was 26 and pregnant. They had 3 children, a son and 2 daughters. He rocked a bohemian look in his era. He unfortunately died on his birthday, 26th April 1616. He also cursed his own grave by this quote. Sonetto, which is derived from a Latin word popularly known as sonnets, which means sound. Sonnets are about expressing romantic love, single feeling of in a perfectly poetic way. The interesting parts of sonnets are the volta, the 9th line, which is the turning point of all these sonnets. His sonnets were first introduced in England in 1527 by poet Sir Thomas Watt. His first sonnet was printed in 1609, which portrayed the tropes of love, jealousy, anger, and lust. There's a strong narrative of a love triangle between the poet Shakespeare, the Dark Lady, and the young man. The first ever sonnet written by Shakespeare, called Sonnet Number 1, which was an exaggerated expression of his beloved's beauty. In the famous sonnet number 18, he compared the young man to the summer's day, where he says, beloved is nicer than a summer day. That might end, but the beauty of the beloved is going to go on forever. From the fairest creature we desire increase, which he meant was the fair humans are the process to express the need to procreate. But the Dark Lady sonnets are more complicated than the one addressed to the young man. In sonnet number 127, the speaker introduced the Dark Lady by saying the standard of beauty has changed, and now having a dark complexion is the style. In sonnet number 144, he actually compares the two muses. He talks about having two loves. The better angel is the man right fair, the versus spirit a woman color ill. He mentions how one of his loves has or could have tamed the other, but has no way to knowing. Coming to the conclusion part, he made a huge impact to the world. He still influenced people, young and old, through his work. He wrote 37 plays, 152 sonnets, 2 long narrative poems. He did a great job at combining the genres as well. He added 3,000 words to English language as well. Although he is not alive for many centuries, he still leaves behind an everlasting legacy. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Algeshwari. Now you may call upon the next paper presenter.
Yes, ma'am. The next presenter is Tanzeen Chappalwala.
Ma'am, if it's okay, I because my phone camera is not working, so
yes,
can I present like this?
Yes, that's all okay.
Hello. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Hello, everyone. My name is Tanzeen Chappalwala. I am from SNT College, Women University, and my topic is anonymous questioning Shakespeare authorship. Next slide, please. Questioning the authorship. Can I start, ma'am?
I think there is some problem with the network of co-host Madam Annabelle. In that case,
can I share my screen?
Yes, sure. Pandru sir, I request you to make Tehsin one of the co-hosts. Okay, Annabelle ma'am is there. She's able to share.
Okay, so can I start?
Yeah, please.
Thank you. Questioning the authorship of Shakespeare plays is often seen as an oddity of amateur scholars, an inquiry unworthy of serious academic consideration. Our understanding of the plays on the page of our appreciation of them on the stage is all that matters. Many books of the articles has been written arguing that some other than William Shakespeare, the glove maker's son from Stratford upon Avon, wrote the plays. There, indeed, the whole idea of Shakespeare as genius seems to have emerged as a response to lack of knowledge about the whole real was. Can you please have the next slide? Shakespeare wrote 37 plays and 154 sonnets. He was an English playwright, poet, an actor, and a dramatist. He is often called as England's national poet and dad of Avon. Shakespeare owned a drama company named Lord Chamberlain's, which was later named as King's Man after the first after the death of Queen Elizabeth. But before, he also started a theatre called Globe Theatre in 1599, where he was allowed the social classes of every social class to sit and enjoy his play. Please, second slide. Next slide. History of Shakespeare authorship questions. His authorship was questioned in the middle of 19th century as his admirers started admiring him as a second god. Shakespeare belonged to a very humble background and had a questionable lifestyle, while looking at the writings made people question about his works credited to him. Henry James quoted, "I am haunted by the conviction of the divine William is the biggest and the most successful fraud ever practiced on the patent world." Anti-Stratfordians started curating multiple theories. Famous people like Whiteman and King Philip, Charlie Chaplin wrote doubtful statements about Shakespeare writing. Even the Shakespeare actors like Derek Jacobi, who have done theoretical performances for Shakespeare plays, questioned him by saying it was a reasonable doubt to question his authorship. Next slide, please. These are the four people who were claimed to have his authorship. The first one is Sir Francis Bacon. His theory is known as Baconian theory. The second one is Edward de Vera, which is known as Oxfordian theory. The third one is known as Ben Jonson, who was a fellow playwright, a friend, and an actor of Shakespeare, who is claimed to be his original works. The fourth one is Christopher Marlowe. He was also a fellow playwright of Shakespeare, owns the original, and people claim he owns the original authorship. Next slide, please. The Baconian theory, we are going to see the Baconian theory in complex form. The Baconian theory claimed there was a woman from America who claimed that Shakespeare was not Shakespeare was not the author of his real play, but the man named Francis Bacon. The woman claimed the woman named Delia Bacon, who became convinced that Shakespeare couldn't have been the Shakespeare, and that maybe someone called Francis Bacon, and famous writer, a famous politician in Elizabeth Court, was Shakespeare. She ended in a private lunatic asylum not far from Shakespeare birthplace. Actually, she had hoped to dig up Shakespeare bones and find some secret documents, but at what sort were begin. And it was really in early 20th century when all the theories started to emerge. Next slide, please. Oxfordian theory is the most famous theory amongst all the four theories because they show more paper sorry they show more paper suspicions and claim that claimed that Oxford de Vera, Earl of 7th Earl of Oxford, was the real author of Shakespeare's plays. They claimed that Shakespeare was a front man for the people of the court and was disguised as Edward de Vera, the 17th Earl of Oxford, as he cannot be openly lay secrets of the court and having a reputation in the Elizabeth family. The Oxfordian theory is the most relatable one to the people as it aroused suspicions to people because of the evidence of biographical rather than imaginative. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Stratfordian people are Stratfordians are known as people who support Shakespeare for his evident plays and writings. People say they have, according to their theories, Shakespeare disappeared in the year 1585 and 1589, which are known as Shakespeare lost years. People say that Shakespeare. It is evident that in this lost year, Shakespeare was writing his poems and documentation. In the year 1592, he returned to London and started his life as an actor. The professor from Stratford University claims it disappointing because both Delia Bacon and Thomas Looney is one of the person who arose the question about Shakespeare authorship and claimed that Edward de Vera was the one who wrote all the plays. He says that Delia was possibly to he claimed that it was supposed to be possibly grow from log cabin to a White House, and equally Looney as a schoolmaster. He said that Looney being a schoolmaster shouldn't question Shakespeare because it claims that he questions that a person from a humble background and a person who from a low, not a great family, can become a good or a great writer or a sophisticated writer. And the professor also said when people question how did Shakespeare know about the life of the court, it's because the acting companies he was invited and he performed as an actor in there and he knew the secrets and the political status of the kingdom. Next slide, please. Next slide. The sonnet number 37 is also an evidence of Shakespeare authorship. Shakespeare had a son called Hamnet, which was 11 years old and died because of some deadly disease. This is the evidence of sonnet. People, the writer says that he after his son's death, he turned towards the darker path and potentially started writing the tragedies. His son Hamnet that caused him to go in depression and and enter into darker comedy. Next slide, please. This is the sonnet. This is sonnet number 33. People speculate that William wrote about Hamnet and keep his memory alive to preserve and remember his only son in sonnet 33. Quoting one, as you can see, Hamnet, he describes Hamnet as a son, comparing to which makes the world a better place. By the time reached Quarantine third, Shakespeare speaks to the loss of the son, perhaps referring to the loss of his son Hamnet. He speaks of the shortened time of the son was his, perhaps alluding to Hamlet's short life of sonnet, shifts into tone from speaking of son, now referring to a person. Next slide, please. The first folio is also an evidence of William Shakespeare authorship because it was written by his fellow mate named Ben Jonson. He has written a poem in there where he describes Shakespeare's Sweet Swan of Avon. He makes it his fellow writer, the author of 36 plays, as the writer from the river Avon. Shakespeare known as the man from Stratford. Ben Jonson also claimed that the book that he also wrote of he claimed that the sole writer of 36 plays was none other than Shakespeare, and he was more involved in the publication of first folio, and he also talked about his techniques of writing in that book. Also, the person Venus and Adenos, his narrative poem, the most popular and admired one, was published by a fellow friend from grammar school in Stratford. Next slide, please. Wits of Commonwealth is also a book published by Francis Mears. He had talked about various great writers in that book, and he also mentioned William Shakespeare. But not only, he also went further and explained that the greatness of Shakespeare was as a writer was the range of his work, not only in his poem, which Mears suggests is like those of the Roman poet. The intriguing thing about Mears is that he does mention the four candidates, Marlowe, Francis Bacon, the Earl of Oxford, elsewhere as the writers, as these other men did write. But Mears, who seemed to know everybody in the London literary world, is quite clear that there are different people from They were different people from Shakespeare. Next slide, please. Yes. The Romantic Movement. The Romantic Movement in the 19th century, there were quite great romantic poets as like Samuel Taylor Coleridge, Lord Byron, John Keats, that you got the idea that a great poet must have a rather glamorous and romantic life of a life. People, the professor says ahead, saying that people question Shakespeare's work because he had a boring life and doesn't have much to see about. Therefore, a person with such a boring life, how can be so romantic and so relatable to the feelings of the people? Next slide, please. He also said that romantics were the first people to say that romantics were the first to say Shakespeare is the greatest genius they have ever seen. And conclusion, to begin the answer with, the conclusion is, there are a lot of theories that tend to come with famous people, just like Maureen More was secretly murdered, or Subhash Chandra Bose is still alive. The authorship so the lot of fames come with lot of fames come lot of confusion and lot of questioning among the people. The authorship controversy emerged out of the disappointment that the hard evidence of documents didn't have the color of glamour to go with the idea of Shakespeare model as a model genius. By the later 20th century, the phenomena of controversy was dying away. But then the course with evidence of internet is came back in the big way. Because amazing thing that the internet is, the problem is there is in system of independent confirmation, where you can discover which websites are actually based on evidence and which are based on conspiracy theory. Thank you.
Thank you, Tehseen. The next one is Angel Teresa Thomas.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, Angel.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Angel Teresa Thomas, and I'm from Kerala. I'm currently pursuing my post-graduation in English from Bharat Mata College, Kerala. The topic of my paper is the Shakespeare and Hamlet in a light of feminist perspective. Next slide, please. Surrounding the play, Hamlet, there were many controversies emerged, and one among the controversies was feminism. Feminism simply means all genders have equal rights and opportunities. It's about respecting diverse women experience, identities, knowledge, and strength. It is our role to empower all women to realize their full rights. Next slide, please. Women in Shakespeare's dramas have been bound to rules and conventions of the patriarchal Elizabethan era. In Elizabethan era, women were supposed to represent virtues like obedience, silence, sexual chastity, piety, humility, constancy, and patience. Next slide, please. In the play Hamlet, there are only two female characters. They are Gertrude and Ophelia. And as we know that Gertrude, the Queen of Denmark and mother to Hamlet, Ophelia, daughter to Polonius, sister to Lytras, and Hamlet's love interest. In this play, Ophelia and Gertrude are deprived of their freedom and rights. In Hamlet, Shakespeare portrayed Gertrude and Ophelia as submissive, powerless, and dependent on the female characters. Next slide, please. Next, feminist view of Gertrude. Please, can I continue?
Yes, please, you continue.
Yeah. Please do. I'm muting.
She is portrayed as weak-minded women in the shadow of male dominance. Gertrude is the loving mother of Hamlet. As a mother, she is caring character. An ample of proofs are there in the play itself. When Hamlet is thinking about going back to Wittenberg for reasons that are unknown, Gertrude tells Hamlet that, "Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us, go not to Wittenberg." Here we can see that as a mother, she always expects Hamlet's presence. Another example, when Hamlet has killed Polonius, Gertrude says to Claudius to draw apart the body he had killed, over whom his very madness, like someone among a mineral of metal base, shows itself pure. He weeps for what is done. Gertrude says this to Claudius to make Hamlet seem remorseful. Here we can see her true love for Hamlet, receiving Hamlet, the way her way of trying to protect her son from receiving the full wrath of Claudius. On the other side, we can understand Gertrude is able to take her decision by herself, but the men around her is not ready to accept this skill. They want women as submissive and obedient. She willfully disobeys Claudius by drinking the poisoned wine. She dies with cries, the drink, I'm poisoned." It identifies Claudius as her killer, and it gives Hamlet the clarity of purpose, means, and motive for revenge. All this shows Gertrude was a loving mother of Hamlet. Next slide, please. Even though Gertrude and Claudius legally married, Hamlet verbally attacks his mother by using sexually abusive words like incendious sheets and an enseamed bed stewed in corruption. When Hamlet is being rude and insulting his mother, she remains calm and quiet, never losing her temper. Even though she is Hamlet's mother, she allows him to do and say whatever he wants. She even listens to him without complying. Next slide, please. Next is feminist view of Ophelia. Through the play, Ophelia is portrayed as the victim of the male characters around her. Ophelia is an example of a perfect daughter who obeys her father without any argument. Polonius treats her more like his property and expects her to do exactly as he says. Ophelia is forced to follow the wishes of her father rather than her own heart. And Ophelia's brother, Lycurgus, wants her not to trust Hamlet's declaration of love. But her reply was an outstanding way. We know that Lycurgus is about to depart for Paris, a city that, as Ophelia suggests, poses dangers for a young man who might be susceptible to the life of an arrogant and heedless libertine. She advised him to heed with resound advice. Here we can see Ophelia's playful, repulsive exhibits a quick, intelligent mind. But her father and brother treats her as a child and consider Ophelia, who does not have a self-awareness, lacks the ability of decision making. And Polonius interferes the relationship between the Hamlet and the Ophelia. And Polonius treats her more like his property and expects her to do exactly as he says. Next slide, please. Hamlet verbally attacked Ophelia by using sexually abusive words. Ophelia has just returned his letters and the gifts he has given her. He considered it as betrayal and misunderstood Ophelia. He grabs her and shouts at her and cursing the fickleness of women in general. He treats her as a mere sexual object rather than women he loved. Throughout the play, Ophelia is portrayed as the victim of the male characters around her. Through this ample of proof in the play, we can see that Ophelia is depicted as a weak, submissive, obedient, and compliant. To conclude, in the entire play, Ophelia never tried to take the initiative to understand the perspectives of the Gertrude and the Ophelia. The entire play was gone through Hamlet's perspectives, and Hamlet had a prejudiced beliefs in the misogynistic rants, which accused women of being sly, seductresses, pretenders, and lustful schemers. This prejudice beliefs might be reasons which leads the play into tragedy. Next slide, please. And there are only two female characters in the play, Hamlet by William Shakespeare. In the play, women are characterized as weak, submissive, obedient, and compliant. In this play, Gertrude and Ophelia are depicted as pawns rather than characters, while the men are depicted as the strong and the forward in the dominated society. Gertrude is a queen of Denmark. She is a powerless queen who's forced to be dependent on men. And also, she's portrayed as a weak mind in the shadow of dominance. Next slide, please. Ophelia is a victim of male characters around her. She is used as a pawn to further the ambitious goals of Lycurgus, Polonius, and represents as an emotional safe haven for Hamlet. Hamlet verbally attacked both the female characters by sexually abusive words, but they remained calm and quiet and they allow him to do and say whatever he wants. So we can conclude that in this play, Gertrude and Ophelia are characterized as weak, submissive, obedient, and compliant. Next slide, please. I thank the coordinators who gave me the chance to present the paper in this national seminar. Thank you.
Thank you, Angel. I request the further participants to please make sure that your presentation is within 5 minutes and not more than that. The next participant is Mrudula Nair.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, Mrudula.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mrudula S. Nair. I'm from Bharat Mata College, affiliated to Mahatma Gandhi University, Kerala. My topic for this online seminar is a study of queerness in Shakespeare's sonnets. Well, what is this term queer? Originally, queer means strange or peculiar. The word queer came to be used against those with same-sex desires or relationship in the late 19th century. Now it's like an umbrella term used for sexual and gender minorities who are not heterosexual or are not cisgender. Queer theory reveals some important questions about the status of gender, sexual categories, and in particular, it throws focus on social construction of identity. This theory is useful to push our limitations beyond our archaic binary constructs. Ma'am, slide change, ma'am. Okay, well, you are all already familiar with sonnets, especially Shakespeare sonnets. Already, Algeshwari already did a research on that. I don't think I should give details about that. But I can say that sonnet is a very difficult art form for the poet because of its restriction on length and meter. And mainly Shakespeare sonnets can be mainly divided into two, like sonnets from 1 to 126, which are interpreted to be written about a relationship with a young man, and sonnets 127 to 154, which seem to be about relationship with a woman, often referred to as mistress or a dark lady. And the narrator's preference for the young man over the dark lady is more visible when we go through all these sonnets. Sometimes narrator is applying the more obvious forms of beauty, which are more often seen in women, to this young man. These sonnets express an intense love with no limits. They capture the essence of how a human truly loves, with no boundaries. In the case of Dark Lady, Shakespeare uses she doesn't beauty lack, which means she doesn't lack beauty in any manner. In this notorious sonnet 130, my mistress' eyes are nothing like the sun, Shakespeare declares all the ways in which she doesn't live up to society's standards. I specifically focused on my study on 4 sonnets, especially sonnet 18, 73, 98, 129. Ma'am, next slide, ma'am. Okay, sonnet 18, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? The key thing that here the poet says, all beautiful things eventually becomes less beautiful, either by the experience of life, by the passing of time, but your eternal beauty won't fade nor lose any of its quality, and you will never die, as you will live on in my enduring poetry. As long as there are people still alive to read poems, this sonnet will live, and you will live in it. Actually, the poet tries to immortalize his lover in his lines. Next slide, ma'am. Okay, sonnet 73. That time of year thou mayst in my behold. Sonnet 73 uses autumn, twilight, and dying fire as extended metaphors for growing older. The poem makes it clear that aging and death are inevitable, but it also affirms their love is unbreakable, unchanging, unconditional. In fact, the person loves the speaker even more, knowing that the time together is limited. Rather than rage against the march of time, the poem ultimately offers that genuine love doesn't care about age and need not diminish as a loved one nears death. And in this poem, the poet actually put aside all the focus on appearances, and he more focused on the inner self. And it has never diminished. His love for his lover, have never diminished by the age. Ma'am, next slide, ma'am. In sonnet 98, from you have, I haven't been absent in the spring by. It describes an absent period between speaker and the subject, and it mainly that says that even though it's spring, it's everything joy around him. It seems like winter. All these beautiful things seems to be just shadows or poor copies of his lover's beauty. He is longing for his lover, actually. Ma'am, next slide, ma'am. Okay, sonnet 129, the expense of spirit in a waste of shame. Well, shame in this poet, it's actually physical act of intercourse. He says that it's like a waste of energy, and it's even shameful. He says that as soon as they enjoy that lust, they begin to despise it, and he will do anything to pursue it. But poet says that such a temptation was purposely laid in their path to make them mad. Everyone knows that their lust leads to self-loathing. The speaker says, yet simply can't help themselves from indulging because passion is too powerful to resist. Shakespeare descriptions about Dark Lady, like dishonesty, her reeking breath, promiscuity, venereal disease, and dark complexion. These all seems like a synonyms of the ugliness in the Elizabethan period. In Sonnet 133, more remarkably, it translates that the fair youth is sleeping with her too. And in Sonnet 144, Shakespeare makes it clear that he loves both of them. These sonnets appears to be bisexual. And throughout these sonnets, even though Shakespeare makes love unconditional, immortal, still he chooses to use platonic lines for description of love towards young man and use a strong sexual remark on his love towards dark lady. Maybe depicts that inability of the speaker to be in love with the young man, which is quite unconventional or like a taboo in those periods. Well, who are his lovers? It is clear that it is pure love. Whether the speaker is involved with a man or woman is not really clear. And Shakespeare doesn't limit his loves to only heterosexual believers, which is considered to be prominent in all kind of ages. And rather, he makes it clear that we can love anyone in this world. And he says that, and so we have to respect each other. And gender, sex, these all are binary constructs are made by the society itself in order to make everyone think and believe same. And Shakespeare's sonnets, we can see in pure light a society where all kinds of love is acceptable. Well, I really appreciate the term queer specifically because it has always carried a sense of undefined abstractness. And even as a slur, the way it describes the term defies all the restrictions of love and self that the world has placed on us. Until today, our world is not actually safe for those who think beyond normal societal concept. Applying and practicing this pure way of life will bring a new society where everyone respects each other's choices, differences, wishes. Applying a pure light in Shakespeare's sonnets makes sonnets more valuable, relevant, and Shakespeare's works thus become a work which make us to repeatedly visit. And the concept of care, main goal and focus are grounded in understanding of sexual and gender. So we have to think beyond such identity categories or labels like heterosexual or homosexual, such of a societal convention. We have to engaging with this queer literature provides opportunity to exit and thrive in the realm of queer, a space where multitude ideologies and conflicting ideologies, sexuality and gender can be considered, examined, and embraced. Next slide, ma'am. I already concluded bit, and well, songs are not like diaries, even if they were written to a real failure. These poems can be assumed to be a faithful description of Shakespeare's private feelings. We could clearly see that Shakespeare portrayed love as not just as love, not just some pure love. Next slide, ma'am. The word queer actually means those who exit outside what society mandates, and well, applying this queer perspective in each well may expand our limited views on gender construct and sexual orientation. That's the main point. Okay, next slide, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mridula. The next participant is Bushra Khan.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Bushra, you may start.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. I am Bushra Khan, a FI BCom student from Srimati P.N. Doshi Women's College. My topic for the research analysis is based on incongruity of gender in The Merchant of Venice. We know how Shakespeare's work has been criticized for having gender issues, giving his male characters more importance compared to female characters. But when looked closely upon his work, we may come to know that he portrayed some of his female characters in such a way that they withhold the entire play, the entire plot. One of those characters is that of Portia, the heiress of Belmont, who lives a lavish life in Belmont. Ma'am, could you please just scroll down? In Merchant of Venice, Shakespeare proves that only can a woman be beautiful, but she can also be powerful, capable of overcoming similar obstacles as men, and above all else intelligent. Shakespeare appears to convey the true definition of feminism by creating heroic attributes in Portia, the heiress of Belmont, qualities that surpass other women of her times. A few of these traits would be perseverance, strength, resourcefulness, and the ability to put others before oneself. She defies and breaks the mold of traditional gender roles placed in the resonance society and illustrates admirable qualities that for centuries have gone unnoticed. Portia demonstrates self sacrifice and is not concerned about money like the other characters in the play. Instead, she is focused on saving the lives of those around her and making peace throughout the two worlds of Venice and Belmont. She is willing to double the amount originally owed to Shylock in order to save the life of Antonio, a man she barely knows. For example, she states, "Pay him 6,000 and deface the bond." Next slide, please. Double 6,000 and then treble that. Before a friend of this description shall doze ahead through Bassanio's fort. The audience should also not overlook what caused the circumstance between the male characters to begin with, and that is the overlook that what caused the circumstance between the male characters to begin with, and that is the borrowing and lending of money of one's own greedy purpose. Fortune is most times is money earned by the hard work of others, or by those who have endured much anxiety from labor, or not by hasty decisions or means of stealing. Ma'am, next slide. Another example of heroism in the trials is the trial scene. in which Portia disguises herself in masculine attire to play the part of Duke and the law clerk. Most women during that time would have reservations about being involved in such a circumstance. But instead of waiting upon her husband's return to Belmont, being involved in such a circumstance, but instead of waiting upon, she decides to take initiative and assist in any way possible. It is important to recognize that there were no women characters in the 16th century, and there were no women lawyers or law clerks. But if she had not risen to the occasion, Bassanio would have had to pay Shylock with his life. In Portia's case, the reason to disguise was quite convincing, which demanded her being a man in that era. She, using phrases like device of law and decrees, indicates her understanding and knowledge of legal language and law, which turns out to be very helpful in the end. At the end, next slide. Earlier in the play, it is observed that Portia's potential is constrained because of her being a woman, only because she is a female and she has to be a woman. Despite her intelligence and potential, she is deprived of the opportunity to use it in the outer world. Her performance in the courtroom was one of the high intelligence and brilliant common sense that fooled everyone in the courtroom, including her own husband. In this scene, Portia showed much intelligence because she was well knowledgeable of the laws and customs and used it to her advantage in the courtroom. She exercised the law to her benefit against Shylock, but beforehand shows mercy by offering solutions that the inevitable outcome. Next slide. She was convinced about saving Antonio, but took into consideration the opposition party, family of friends involved as well as the state's business affairs. Next slide. Next slide. Shakespeare is in choosing the name Portia for his heroine. The dramatist was suggesting wealth, wisdom, and virtue, the very same attributes she radiates in the Merchant of Venice. Next slide. When Bassanio first describes Portia, he tells Antonio her name is Portia, nothing virginal. Named for the daughter of the virtuous, wise philosopher and wife of virtuous republican. She is presented as a person of wisdom and virtue. Next slide. In conclusion, I would just like to conclude it by saying that uh, gender inequalities did exist in the Elizabethan era, but Shakespeare looked beyond that. He had a different perspective towards women, and he portrayed it in a different way, so that the readers and the audience could understand the position of women in that era and what they could do and could not, and what how he wanted the women to emerge into as the character he showed as Portia. Thank you.
Thank you, Bushra. Thank you everyone for participating in this competition. I would like to call upon Savita ma'am to take forward the meeting.
Yes, thank you, dear Algeshwari, for helping us with the paper presentation session. I congratulate all the participants for their papers. When we talk about the life overall, this is from one of the anonymous. Be authentic, speak sincerely, listen thoughtfully, act compassionately, and love. Always love. This love for literature is just seen by many of our students all over the nation who are having the Shakespearean air of literature in their hearts. And this was an humble attempt from all of them. We really congratulate all of these students who really took pains and participated and presented their papers. If we again think of Shakespeare, they have also shown us that go wisely and slowly. Those who rush stumble and fall. So this is the most matching and fitting statement by Shakespeare that they all of them have followed. In these testing times of corona pandemic, they have also shown their spirits. Once again, Shakespeare needs to be here quoted as, how far that little candle throws his beams, so shines a good deed in a weary world. So again, trying to show the ray of hope and enjoying literature being there with us, let's begin with one interesting session of online contest. Let's have a literary fun. For this, let me please call upon our student conveners, Asha Bhandari and Hemangi Patel. Over to you both. Let's enjoy literary fun together.
Thank you, ma'am. Hello, I'm Himangi and my friend Asha. We welcome you all to this to celebrate the Shakespeare's month. I hope my screen is visible. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, Shakespeare's month by remembering his great work and legacy through these fun-filled activities. And namely, they are guess the character, and the second one is translate the words. So in guess the character, I'll give you a famous character. I'll give you a famous character from Shakespeare's play, and you have to name them. I'll drop few of the hints, and I want you all to drop the names in the chat box so that we can just correct your answers. And in the second activity, you have to translate the dialogues into any language you are convenient and you're comfortable in: Hindi, English, Gujarati, Marathi, anything you are comfortable. So let's begin. So the rule is, I want you all to drop the answers in the chat box. My fellow mate Asha will tell the answer is right or wrong. So the first play is Hamlet. So let's start. He is the villain of the play. He's calculating and ambitious politician. He shows signs of guilt and human feelings to his wife, and he is somebody's uncle. So guess who the villain is? Any guesses? Yes, really?
Absolutely, Kevali, you're right. It's Claudius.
Yes,
Let's
Claudius.
move ahead, Himangi.
Yes. Next, she's recently married to her brother-in-law. She's shallow and a weak woman. She seeks affection and status more urgently than moral rectitude or truth. And she loves her son deeply. Who is she?
That's right, Vandana. You're absolutely right. It's Gertrude.
Gertrude.
Hamlet's mother. Yes.
Next, he's a chief counselor. He's a Lord of Chamberlain. He's forms and convenient old man. He's often given this quote as a rash, intruding fool, and he's killed accidentally by someone. So by Hamlet, actually. So who is he?
It's an easy one. Come on, you guys.
It's very easy. He's killed accidentally without any. It was
Absolutely,
not even his mistake.
It's Polonius. You got it.
Very good. I want all to participate, even teachers,
Yes, Ankita.
even other students.
Yes, Didi.
Participate. Next, she's a lover of the main character. She obeys her father. She's dependent on men and for her behavior. And in the end of the play, she lapses into madness and death. Who is
you got it right, Didi. Before Himangi got a chance to complete. It's Ophelia. Yes. Yes, Ankita.
Very good.
Lovely.
Next, he is the Prince of Denmark. He's always in intense soliloquies. His hatred towards his uncle for his mother's sexuality.
Yes.
Yes.
It's Hamlet. It's the protagonist. Yes, Mittal Shah. You're right. It's Hamlet.
I hope you guys are enjoying. Next play is Othello. He's the soldier of North Africa. He's employed as a general by the city of Venice. He's married to Desdemona, and he's highly respected, but he's still an outsider because of his skin color. Who is he?
Othello. Yes, Pratiksha, you're right. It's Othello.
Othello. Next,
He's a soldier who works with Othello. He wants Othello's second. He wants to be Othello's second in command, but his position is passed over to Cassio. He seeks revenge and he plots to destroy everything what Othello values. Who is he?
Yes, Kevli, you're right again. It's Iago. Yes, Yashpreet, Aryama, Neha. Y'all are right. It's Iago, the antagonist.
Next.
Go ahead, Imangi.
She's the maid servant of Desdemona. She's married to Iago. She's loyal to Desdemona, but she still lies to her husband because it will help her husband out. Who is she?
It's an easy one.
It's very easy, guys. Who is married?
Amelia. Yes, Pratiksha, Yashpreet, Aryama, Madiha. Yes, it's Amelia. Go ahead, Imangi.
Yes. Next, he's a gentleman soldier. He has the ability, loyalty, and grace, but he suffers from drinking problem. He respects Desdemona and Othello, and he does not have a love interest, or he's not a love interest for Desdemona. Who is he? Very easy, guys. Who has drinking
Come on, give it a go. Yes, Bushra. It's Casio. Yeah. You're right.
Very good.
No, Pratiksha, I got it wrong. It's Casio. It's not Rodrigo. It's Casio.
Next,
yes.
She's beautiful and accomplished young Vietnam woman. She's protected by her father. She stands for love, purity, and trust. And all these love, trust, and purity makes her life meaningful, and she thinks it's worth living for. Who is she?
Yes, Aryama, it's Desdemona. Absolutely, you got that right.
Very good.
Let's move ahead.
Yes. Next, the last is Merchant of Venice. So he is a Jewish money lender in Venice. He is angered. He's always angered for his mistreatment, and he demands a pound of flesh from Antonio. He's forced to convert to Christianity by the end of the play.
Y'all are very fast. Y'all are not even letting Imangi complete. It's Shylock, Bushra, and Pratiksha, Vanshi, Madhiha. Yes, it's Shylock. Move ahead, Imangi.
Next, he's a merchant of Venice. He's loved by his friend and he proves merciful to Shylock, although his conditions, he comes in Shylock's contract and he's almost lost his life. Who is it? Yes, I can see people.
Yes, it is Antonio. Y'all are super smart. Wow. Ankita, Gargi.
He elopes with the young Christian Lorenzo. She's born Jew and she doesn't like her life in her father's house. Who is she?
Yes, Gargi, you're right. It's Jessica, Ankita, Bushra, Vandana, y'all are right. Kavya. It's Jessica. Move ahead, Imangi.
Next, he's a gentleman of Venice and he's a very dear friend to Antonio. Portia helps him to borrow money from Shylock, and he's an intellectual businessman and he proves him to be the worthy suitor, and he's identified his lover's portrait, the casket. He's identified it right. Who is
wow, it's Bassanio, and y'all are not even making a single mistake. It's amazing. It's Bassanio.
Very good.
Everyone is right. Ankita, Bushra,
she's a wealthy heiress from Belmont, and her beauty is matched only by her intelligence. She marries her true love, and she saves Antonio from Shylock's knife, and she's bound by the clause in her father's will that forces her to marry. Who is she?
Yes, everyone is right in the chat box. It is Portia, the beautiful Portia.
Very good. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Over to you, Asha.
So once again, I thank you everyone for participating and guess the character. But now it's time to voice them in our next activity called Translate the Words. So in this particular activity, we would present a few dialogues that you have to translate in your mother tongue or any suitable language. Y'all can choose any dialogue from the presented slide. The only rules are raise your hand, unmute yourself, and speak. Teachers are more than welcome to participate. Just to break the ice and get the game started, I'll translate my favorite dialogue. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? So I'll first translate it in Hindi. Romeo, Romeo, kahan ho tum, Romeo? Or in Marathi, Romeo, Romeo, kute ahes tu, Romeo? So do we have any participants, volunteers who would like to go ahead? Please raise your hand.
Can I go? Has raised her hand. Yes, Kevli, go ahead.
I would like to do the fifth one in Hindi.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
नाम मध्ये काय आहे? एक गुलाब सारखं कुठलाही नाम असू शकते मीठा सारखं.
Okay, nice try.
Lovely.
Good.
I would
Lovely.
like
Lovely.
to do the fourth one.
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
The lady does protest too much, I think.
So translate it into another language if you can. It's already in
Yes.
any other your mother tongue.
Maybe Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, whatever. Whatever.
ये औरत ज्यादा प्रोटेस्ट करती है, मुझे लगता है.
Very good.
हाँ,
Yes.
lovely.
Yes, there are
बहुत
people
आंदोलन करती है.
People who are raising their hands, please.
Yeah, sorry, Andolan, right? Not protest. Yes.
I would like to translate it into Gujarati.
Yes.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Ho ke no ho, इच तो प्रश्न छे.
अरे, lovely, lovely.
Romeo, Romeo, क्या छे तू Romeo?
Amazing. We're loving this. Anyone else? Do we have?
Yes, sir. Anybody? Somebody said you can.
Sir, I thought sir wants to go ahead with the.
Can I please
with
try?
the.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
you
sure,
can try,
sure.
please.
The third one. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, sure. Go ahead, darling. Go ahead.
Romeo, Romeo, où es-tu, Romeo? That's in French.
Oh,
and
very good.
And in Konkani, it will be Romeo, Romeo, où es-tu, Romeo?
Very good.
Lovely. Himangi, I think we should move on to the next slide.
Okay, we'll go to the next slide. There are many more dialogues. Anybody wants to?
The second one in Gujarati.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Go ahead.
दुनिया एक स्टेज છે.
રંગમંચ છે.
હા, दुनिया एक रंगमंच છે અને બધા સ્ત્રી પુરુષ ત્યાં આગળના કલાકાર છે.
Lovely, lovely.
Okay, I'll go to the next
Good
one.
afternoon, everyone. Can I do the first one?
Yes.
Sure.
থাকবো কি থাকবো না সেটাই প্রশ্ন. To be or not to be, that is the question.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
That is in
Okay,
Bengali.
we'll go to the next.
Can I do the okay? It's done.
Okay, we'll go to the next
We
one.
have many more slides, guys. We have many more dialogues. Let's move on ahead.
You can do it here. Whoever wanted to try, you can go ahead here. Yes, two people have raised their hands. Please go ahead.
Can I go? Can I?
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Who is it?
Mittal.
Okay, go ahead.
Sixth one in Gujarati. જે બધું ચમકે એ જરૂરી નથી કે સોનું હોય.
Lovely, lovely.
May I do the sixth and the eighth one in Marathi?
Yes, sure.
सगळं जे चमकतं ते सोनं नसतं. आणि आठवं eighth would be एक घोडा माझं अवघं राज्य एका घोड्यासाठी.
Lovely, lovely, ma'am. Lovely.
Ma'am,
Can I do the first one in Bengali?
Yeah, sure. Please.
Ma'am, I'll be doing 10th one.
Yeah. Who is going to do it in Bengali? Then we can move ahead to the 10th one.
Yes, this is Ankita. The first one in Bengali will be Shop Chumki Shona Hai Na.
Aha, nice.
Ma'am,
who will
Gujarati?
Yeah, please go ahead, please.
મનથી દેખાય છે.
Nice. Okay, we have more translations.
We have more 5. The last 5, whoever has not participated, I want them to participate. Teachers, professors, please go ahead.
These are very easy dialogues to translate. Anyone would like to excuse me, but I can't see entire thing. Means I think I can't see that entire sentence or question.
Which question is not visible?
I think screen is very big to see, entire thing.
Himangi, could you minimize it?
Yes, enable ma'am, yeah, if otherwise Asha, yeah.
Okay,
minimize it a bit. So yeah, upper and lower lines were a bit hazy.
Okay, we're so sorry for that.
Better now.
I'm first in Gujarati.
Yes.
Yeah, please.
સારું કે ખરાબ એવું કઈ નથી હોતું, બસ વિચારો હોય છે.
Oh, lovely. Any more translations?
I would say 15th one. In
Yeah,
Bengali.
please. Yeah, sure, please.
The 13th one.
Yeah, go ahead.
সত্যিকারের ভালোবাসার পথ মসৃণ হয় না।
Wow. Anyone else? Yes, someone raised their hand.
Ma'am, may I?
Yes, go ahead.
I'll go with the 14th one and the 14th one.
Yes.
I'll go with the 14th one. Dhadapeksha, sorry, I'm getting nervous. Okay.
Yeah, it's all right.
It's okay. Don't be nervous.
Exactly. It's a fun activity.
डोका धड़ापेक्षा वेगळं करा.
Nice.
Oh, lovely. Har kaat do iska if we do it in Hindi.
12th one in Gujarati. So
Okay.
તો અમારે લોહી નથી નીકળતું તો તમે કેમ હસો છો? If જો
Yeah, please.
Okay, take your time. No worries.
અમને જે આપશો તો શું અમે નહીં મરશું? જો અને જો તમે અમને ખોટો કહેશો તો અમે શું બદલો નહીં લેશું.
Lovely. This was a difficult one. You did a great job. Do we have any more translations?
Can I do the 15th one in Bengali?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
আমরা এর চেয়ে ভালো দিন দেখেছি. We have seen better days.
Lovely. This reminds me of a politician.
Yes.
Okay, is that it? Do we have more translations?
Yes, there is somebody who's asking if he or she can translate it into Spanish. Who is that? Kindly please.
Please. It would be amazing. Please go ahead,
Yes,
Danya.
the 13th one, the course of true love never did run smooth. So the Spanish words are like in a different way, not like in the same order as English it is. I'll just say it. La curso de amor verdadera nunca hizo Lisa correr.
Oh wow, it sounds so romantic. Lovely.
Thank you.
Great.
Okay, do we have more translations? Anyone?
There are two people raise their hands.
Please go ahead.
Since somebody attempted in Spanish, I too would like to try my hand at it. I'm not exactly good, but for the 15th one, it's because in Spanish it differs between masculine and feminine. I take it as a feminine speaking way, like it changes the verbs. So it's nosotras hemos visto días mejores. We have seen better days.
Right. Wow. There was one more person, right? Is that it? Himangi, is that all?
Yes, I guess.
Thank you everyone for your spirited participation. I hope everyone enjoyed. So finally, we would like to declare the winners for the meme challenge and the modern day Shakespeare challenge. So the winners for the meme day challenge are, drum roll, Nausheen Khan. The first place goes to Nausheen Khan, and the second place goes to Ankita Saha. These were absolutely hilarious. And the modern day Shakespeare goes to, the first place goes to Kevali Sangvi. It was an amazing narrative, Kevali, and Vanshi Lakhani. I hope I got the names right. Thank you. Congratulations to all the winners. Now I would like to hand it over to Miss Kevali Sangvi to declare the results for research paper competition. Over to you, Kevali.
Sorry, ma'am. Actually, there's a mistake in that timetable. Ma'am will be declaring, I guess.
Yes.
All right. I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's all okay, Asha. Thank you very much, dear Asha and Himangi, for coordinating this fun-filled activities so well. I also thank Madam Annabelle also for quietly supporting and appreciating all the participants who joined in, translated, and really it was a great fun. So now let's move upon the results for our paper presentation competition. for this, I would like to call upon our today's judge, respected Dr. Pramod Kharate, to be there with his observations as well as guidelines along with results.
Yeah, has he entered the room?
We'll have to just check in. Hello, sir. Dr. Pramod, sir, are you there?
Yeah, good morning, madam. Good morning, Professor.
Yes, there. Yeah. Good
There
morning,
was
sir.
a connectivity issue at my end.
Good morning.
Am I audible to you all?
Yes, sir, you are perfectly audible.
Yes, sir.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. I hope I'm pretty audible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall I speak now?
Yeah, sure.
So, thank you so much for inviting me to be this part of this beautiful event. At the beginning itself, my apologies for joining a little late because of some academic engagements. I could not join so early. So that was the reason I couldn't join. But time and when, as and when I would get time, I tried to just see the overall event. So, respected principal of all the three prestigious colleges, Dr. Rajendra Gurov, SNGT College of Arts and SCB College of Commerce, Churchgate, Dr. Asha Menon from Srimati P.N. Doshi College of Women, Ghatkopar, Dr. Rajeshri Trivedi Madam, Maniben Nanavati College, Villeparle, organizers, paper presenters, participants, faculty, student friends, my friend Dr. Pandurang Badkale, Professor Savita Chavan. I am extremely delighted to be the part of this, a student-led national seminar. In fact, it should be called as a professor-led because in this pandemic situation, professors are inspiring students to participate in such kinds of constructive and fruitful activities. So at the outset as well, I would like to congratulate all participants, paper presenters for not only having written the papers, but also for very brilliantly presenting those papers in this particular conference. So what a way to celebrate the birth and date anniversary of William Shakespeare, who is the Bard of the Avon and the national poet of England. So on 23rd of April, we all celebrated that day as an English day, and therefore, although it is going to be the 28th of April, every day is supposed to be the day of celebration of William Shakespeare's legacy that he has left with all of us. So there are many more quotations that every day we recite, every day we enjoy, we keep on exchanging among ourselves. So those proverbs and good sayings from William Shakespeare's texts, plays, as well as from his sonnet, keep on inspiring all of us always. To be or not to be, that is the question. All that glitters is not gold. Love all, trust few, and do wrong to none. We all, we know what we are, but we know not what we may be. Have more than we show, speak less than we know. It is not in the stars to hold your destiny, but in ourselves. With mirth and laughter, old wrinkles come ourselves. And there are many more kinds of good proverbs that on daily basis we come across. Friends, why William Shakespeare in 2021? This is the question that everybody must ask to ourselves, because what is the relevance of William Shakespeare in modern times? In 2016, we have already marked the 400th death anniversary of William Shakespeare, and in the month of April, there are organizations of various events in colleges and at the universities across the globe. And I take this particular event being students-led conference as a part of celebration of that. So I'm so much excited. And I mean, I was so much excited to just have a look at the kinds of presentation that students have made. I could see that some students have made excellent presentations. They have given their best. Of course, for every presentation, there are chances and loopholes, but every presentation makes us to think, makes us to learn. There are mentors, there are teachers, there are the guiding forces who are always there behind all of you. So students, you all have done wonderfully well. So I was just talking about what is the relevance of William Shakespeare in the modern times. So we all know that William Shakespeare is highly researched, highly quoted kind of an artist, a writer, a playwright, and we consistently study, we consistently enact, and we represent those plays in multiple social diverse, context. Today also I could see that the students of the English department, not only in Mumbai, but outside of Mumbai, they also presented their papers. They have explored the overall galaxy of literature of William Shakespeare from multiple perspectives, from multiple angles, from multiple approaches. So this presentation, kind of a event or online contest has given students, a larger scope and opportunity to study literature of William Shakespeare and to analyze it from multiple points of view. So William Shakespeare, according to me, continues to influence our life, our life in general, theater and film, culture and language and whatnot. William Shakespeare is supposed to be a great personality, literary figure, a titanic, personality in the modern time as well. We feel like his texts, his kinds of quotations and dialogues are socially relevant. So I'm extremely happy to be the part of this beautiful organization. And of course, the event had fun-filled kind of activities that was so nice. Extemporaneously, students have responded to the questions, and that is one of the ways of celebrating the legacy of William Shakespeare. As paper presentation was the main activity, main concern, I could see that many students have attempted to present their papers, and because of this pandemic situation, we cannot physically meet each other, but online education, online learning and exchange of thought and your ideas has never ceased. So we are blessed enough that the online technology, the modern advanced technology is making us able to connect globally. That's the part. And I could see that students, researchers and scholars across India, they have made it a point to present their papers, and that to good papers, quality papers. As I said that this is undergraduate and postgraduate students activity. So kudos to all the students for having made their presentation a very successful one. I could see some of the presentations of students. If I can name some of the titles and would like to just make a brief observation on that, I will be so happy. I hope you will just give me a little bit of time. Savita madam, hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, shall I keep on speaking?
So the way we had discussed it, the result is almost ready and which will be shared to you. It will be a great help to you to announce it by our Madam Annabelle. Kindly please help with sharing of the screen so that it's helpful to announce the result.
Okay, you would like to just announce the results right now?
We have already done with the fun-filled activities, sir. So whatever results that late night we have came across with.
Oh, Savita madam. Savita madam, I think he's talking about the speech, if he could continue.
Yes, sir. You please continue. Pramod sir, you are allowed to continue with your speech.
No problem, sir. You can continue with, we can continue with your remarks.
Okay. Yeah, I know that results have been declared, but then, I would request on my part to announce the result on my behalf. That would be so fair on your part. So, Palak Lilakar spoke on a study of select tragic plays of William Shakespeare. Falak Sayed spoke on investigating women characters in Shakespearean plays. And, Kevali Sangvi spoke on the evolution of women from Macbeth to Makbul. Very nice presentation it was. Sara Kachwala spoke on Shakespeare's comedy. Then Algeshwari Chettiar spoke on Shakespearean sonnet. And Tassin, spoke on the anonymous questioning Shakespeare authorship works. So all students, they have made a brilliant presentation, but there are some of the other presentation that I would like to briefly note and register my comment. So there was a paper on Shakespearean tragedy by Neha Prasad. She tried to explore the themes of select Shakespearean tragedies, including Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth, and very brilliantly summed up the Shakespearean drama and how that drama is about the conflict in which both external and external elements are there. And Neha tried to say that all tragedies are essentially the stirring and often melodramatic. Focusing on Shakespeare's King Lear as a tragedy, Miss Salma Maner attempted to contend that the drama presented between good and evil. She analyzed King Lear drama with critic A.C. Bradley's approach to tragedy, being religious and the character oriented. Shakespearean Hamlet in light of feminist perspective was the paper, a very nice paper that was presented by Angel Teresa Thomas. So Angel explored the female characters in Shakespearean plays, Hamlet, and researched that how Gertrude and Ophelia are portrayed as bound by the patriarchal conventions of the society. She tried to present how these characters are submissive and powerless, and reveal the painful, kind of things, struggles, and the unfair fates of women that they are going to suffer. I'm fully aware and agree with the views expressed by her, and she has done very well. Of course, Hamlet can be viewed as the testimony of Shakespeare's craft that reflects the anti-feminist view in the Elizabethan time, and we get a very great picture of the female characters in her particular play. Incongruity of the gender in Merchant of Venice was the paper presented by Bushra Khan. It was another good paper attempting to argue that men hold all a power within their homes in the contemporary society. She tried to emphasize on the gender disparity while Shakespeare introducing the cross dressing, and her research was based on the gender inequality in Shakespeare's time. It was very well presented. So Mrudula Nair presented a paper on a study of the queerness in Shakespearean sonnet, one of the best discussions that we had this beautiful morning. So through her research, she has made an attempt to analyze Shakespearean sonnet number 18, 73, and 98, and also there is no queer love. And congratulations, Mrudula Nair, for beautifully applying the queer theory, the perspectives. So I personally congratulate all the paper presenters and the participants for their total active, enthusiastic, kind of a participation and involvement in this very conference titled as Revisiting Shakespeare. I have a feeling like very aptly we all have revisited Shakespeare, and we will keep on visiting Shakespeare on daily basis as well. So that's it from my side. I'm so much happy. My apologies for not joining so early. And thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to interact with all the young scholars. Thank you very much, Professor Savita John, madam. Have a good time.
Thank you so much, respected Dr. Pramod Karate, sir. We are very much thankful for your wonderful remarks and also motivating the students to carry on with their research. I would like to request you, sir, to kindly announce the result. The slides would be presented on screen. It would be a great pleasure to listen to the result from your end, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Yes.
Thank you.
So the participants, the much awaited moment has come, and we are going to very soon announce the results now. Will you please show the concerned slide, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, we have the winners in the runner-up category. So there are 3 students. Before I announce their names, I would like to just congratulate all of them for their participation, presentation, and I hope and I know that they were the undergraduate students. Nevertheless, with full gusto, they presented their paper. So the runner-up winners are Bushra Khan from Srimati P.N. Doshi College, then Tahsin Chappalwala from SNDT College of Arts and SCB College of Commerce, Churchgate, and Pallak Lilakar from Maniben Nanavati Women's College. Once again, congratulations to all of you students. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So here comes the next slide about on the third place. I'm very happy and express my privilege to announce the third place. We have the paper presenters. The names are Sara Kachwala from SNDT College, Churchgate, Falak Syed from Manibin Nanavati College, Vile Parle, and Kevali Sangvi from SNDT College of Arts. So once again, congratulations to all the winners and the young students. Yes, ma'am, please go ahead.
Yes, we do have second place.
Second place is just like the first place. So I'm once again so much delighted to announce that Algeshwari Chettiar from P.N. Doshi Women's College, Ghatkopar, as well as Angel Trisa Thomas from Bharat Mata College from Ernakulam, Kerala. They have won the second place in this competition. So hearty congratulations both of you for having secured the second position in this online paper presentation competition. So students, here comes that name that everybody was willing to have. I hope that, and before I announce, let me tell that every participant is a winner according to me, because this has been a learning experience to all of us, all of you. So never get disheartened, and some other day you would also be getting this first flight. I'm extremely delighted and very much happy to announce the first position, the first place that has been secured in this very well competition organized at national level in this conference. The first position, the first prize is won by Ms. Mrudula S. Nair from Bharat Mata College, Ernakulam, Kerala. So big round of applause and a great work done by Mrudula. Congratulations and kudos to you all. Thank you very much, madam, for giving this very rare and absolutely, because that was your prerogative, and you have given me this opportunity to announce all these good results. Thank you so much. That's so nice of you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, respected Dr. Pramod Kharate, sir, for being there with us, announcing the results as well. Congratulations to everyone. After this, I would like to call upon our respected Dr. Pandurang Barkale, sir, the head from SNDT Women's College of Arts and SCB College of Commerce, Churchgate, to offer his formal vote of thanks. Over to you to Dr. Pandurang Barkale, sir. Sir, are you there? I'll just check on. Please give me some time. Hello, he is just about to join. He's facing some connectivity issues. He'll be he'll be there with us. Kindly please wait.
Savita, in the meanwhile, they can fill the feedback form.
Yes, yes.
Post the link.
Yeah, I request Madam Annabelle to kindly post the feedback form link in the chat box. Everybody has to fill up this form so that they can be rewarded with the participation certificate. The winners will be sent their certificates of victory within next 3 to 4 days. All participants will be rewarded with the certificates for sure. They should wait at least for 1 week. Kindly please take care of writing your proper and valid Gmail ID. I hope Pandurang sir is there with us.
Yes, madam, I'm back.
Hello, sir.
I'm really sorry due to can you hear me?
Yes, yes, sir. You're perfectly audible. Sir, I request you to kindly please be there for the formal vote of thanks for today's seminar and online contest.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. I'm really sorry due to network fluctuation. I was let out of the meeting and it took a little while to come back. So at the outset, I would like to thank everyone for being a part of this national level student-led seminar. It was also revisiting William Shakespeare. We celebrated as English Day, for which though all those who did their bit, I am indebted to all of them. Friends, T.S. Eliot in his poem The Wasteland says April is the cruelest month. And yes, we are noticing that due to this pandemic, yes, there is a dance of death around and it turns out to be a cruelest month indeed. But William Shakespeare is the one who puts little hope in us when he says in one of his sonnets that April has put a spirit of youth in everything. I think this quote was referred to by Madam Rashi Trivedi in the morning during her speech. So I would be thankful to all the principals, Dr. Rajendra Gurau, my principal, then Dr. Rashi Trivedi, the principal of Maniben Nanavati Women's College, Madam Asha Menon, who was represented by head of the department, Dr. Manju Prabha Madam, for today's program. Heartfelt thanks to all these people, all these dignitaries for being with us. Without their support, without their encouragement, such programs of national level are just impossible to imagine. We have a respected distinguished judge with us, Dr. Pramod Karate, who happens to be my friend, but most achieved, most accomplished person indeed. In his college, a couple of years ago, he had organized an international conference on William Shakespeare, and I think that made him the right person to judge the entries today, and I'm sure he did his best, and you could see that in the judgment and the declaration of the awards. So my heartfelt and sincere thanks to Dr. Karate as well. Friends, this is called a student-led seminar, although Dr. Karate said that this is teachers-led. Yes, we teachers always lead the students, we do help them, and that's a part of our mentoring that we always do. But what I noticed in today's seminar is, yes, it was really led by students. We were there as mentors and advisors, but it was led by students because most of the activities were taken care of by students only. The introduction of the judge was given by Ms. Bushra Khan. Then research paper competition was compared by Ms. Algeshwari Chetia, and fun-filled activities were taken care of by the interns from PG Department of English Ascended Women's University, and the interns who currently are assigned the work at Maniben Nanavati Women's College. So I'm really grateful to Ms. Arsha Bhandari and Ms. Himangi Patel, who in a very lucid manner, in a very interesting manner, they handled this fun-filled activities. Now, a word of gratitude not gratitude, but recognition or appreciation, I can say. This word of gratitude or appreciation to my friends and the co-members of organizing committee, Miss Savita Chavan and Miss Annabelle Rebello. I don't know if I really should be thankful to them, because the word thank won't be enough for the efforts they have put in to make this program see the light of the day. Miss Savita Chavan some days ago called me to give a speech or something to her college to commemorate the birth anniversary of William Shakespeare, and which would have been called English Day. But I, being an extremely opportunist and selfish person, I thought of making it a sort of activity where our college can score some brownie points. Being an accuracy coordinator of the college, I thought that yes, this is a room for college to score some points, and we made it a research paper competition. Now we already have an pre-existing MOU with Dr. Rajshri Trivedi's college, that is Maniben Nanavati Women's College, and Miss Annabelle Rebello, who has been associated with our college, and we have held so many activities together. We also have ongoing students teachers exchange program. So I thought of talking to Miss Annabelle also, and she so diligently and proactively accepted that particular offer, not just accepted and agreed upon, but started working upon. Rather, I would say that this 90%, 95% of the work was handled by this duo, Miss Savita Chavan and Miss Annabelle Rebello. So I won't thank them. Rather, I would be in their debts, and if in future, if I can do something, I would definitely would like to repay their kindness. Now, a word of thanks to the researchers, those who participated in fun-filled activities, and those who presented their research papers. As the judge might have remarked on it, since I was out for some time due to technological. The papers that were presented, of course, are students, graduating students. We cannot expect them to be the best, but I'm sure they have done their best, and we have definitely appreciated that. We have given runner-up awards to the students who are promising in their research aptitude. So a big thanks to everyone who participated in the capacity of paper presenter, and all the students who attended this, because without attendees, without participants, I'm sure even now we have 51 participants in this meeting, and in the morning I had to literally remove some of the participants because it was just a flood. Students were waiting in the waiting room, and because of that I could not accommodate some of the members from organizing committee. And I'm sure, although for active participation there are 51 now, but most of the people are attending this program on YouTube. So a big thank to all the people who are attending it, either in interactive session or on YouTube. So with this word of gratitude to everyone who directly or indirectly contributed toward the success of this program, I think we should end this program. A last announcement, I think I have already made it in the chat box on a couple of times, but again I'm repeating that. There is a feedback link shared over there. I think the students who are there in WhatsApp group, it would be shared over there also. It is a precondition. The people who aim for a participation certificate, it's a precondition. They have to record their feedback. We organizers are hungry and thirsty for your feedback, however it is. Let it be positive, negative, or neutral. We do not mind that, but we want that. So kindly record, kindly give your feedback. It will give an opportunity to us to grow, to improve, to modify our ways. So please do it. And I think with this word, we'll call it a day. Thank you once again. Thank you everyone for being with us, and we'll continue this dialogue. Please take care of yourself. Stay home. Stay safe. Good day.
Thank you so much, sir. There is one short announcement, kind request to all of you. Kindly please switch on your cameras for a group photograph, a request, so that we can really make it a great memory.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for everyone to switch on their camera. Take a good pose, smile, take a good background if you want to.
Yeah, Annabelle ma'am, you're taking the picture?
Yeah, so I'll take some. You can also take in case I don't get good shots. Maybe you can also take some from your end.
Yeah, 1 second. No?
This really makes a true seminar hall, though virtually.
Yeah, please start the videos. I'll take one photo from my end. It's a request to all the participants to start the video.
Some of the participants are still not with switch on camera. They can please.
Yeah.
Anyways, their names we can see, if not the faces.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Savita ma'am, done.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for a great memory in a snapshot.
Yeah.
I hope we'll be able to share this
Yes,
to all of the participants if they personally get connected to our WhatsApp group. So a big thank you to everybody. Stay safe. Take care of yourself and your family. Once again, a happy
good day.